Dear students, welcome in English literature class. Again, Prospero wants to confirm whether Miranda is listening to him or not. So he asked her, "Are you listening to me or not?" "You are not listening to me," he says to Miranda. Miranda says, this is lecture number 3. In lecture number 2 and 1, you studied what was the past of Prospero. The story is being told by Prospero to Miranda. Miranda says, "Oh good sir, I do. Oh sir, oh good sir, I am listening very carefully. I am listening to you." Prospero says, "I pray thee mark me. I request you to pay your attention to me. Heed your attention to me. I thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, overpriced all popular rate in my false brother, awaked an evil nature." He says, I thus ignored all worldly interest. I lost all the interest. I had no interest in worldly affairs, worldly interest. I was fully devoted to my private life and to the progress of my mind with studies which were worth more than all excessive popular praise. I was devoted to my private life and to the progress of my mind with studies which worth more than all excessive popular praise. What happens after that? What happened? Happened this: my brother had ill will against me. This aroused the ill will of my wicked brother. My popularity aroused the ill will of my wicked brother. My wicked brother had jealousy for me, jealousy of me, and my trust like a good parent did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary as great as my trust was. My total trust in him produced a boundless treachery. He became treacherous, boundless treachery. My total trust in him, my entire trust in him produced a boundless treachery, limitless treachery. Just as a father may produce a son. He has given an example. Just as a son produced a son much below his level. Listen it again. My total trust in him produced a boundless, limitless treachery. Just as a father may produce a son much below his level. Just as a father just as a father's confidence bound limitless to his son. A confidence which had indeed no limit, a confidence sense bound. He being thus lauded not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might else exact, like one who, having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie. He did believe he was indeed the Duke, out over the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear? Prospero here tells the story. He says, like a lord, he was now enriched. Like a lord, he was enriched with the wealth which my sources of income brought in, yielded, brought in, but also with whatever he could forcibly demand by his authority, which he had derived from me. Not only he had taken the wealth which my sources of income brought in, but also whatever he could forcibly demand by his authority. He has become the Duke. He had taken all the power. So by his authority, whatever he could derive from me, he had taken. He began to think, Antonio began to think that he was the Duke. He started thinking that he began to think that he was the Duke, like a man who falsifies his memory of the truth and who begins to believe his own lie after telling it repeatedly. If a man is telling a lie, but many times he repeats the same things, same sentence, it becomes true. Same thing he had done. Begins to believe his own lie after telling it repeatedly. As a result of taking my place, he assumed the air of royalty with its dignities and privileges. All the power he had, now he thought that he is the royal person. He assumed the air of royalty with his dignities and privileges. And a result of his increasing ambition, what happened? As his ambition started growing, and a result of his increasing ambition, again he interrupts Miranda and asks, "Are you listening to me?" Miranda says, "Your tale, sir, would cure deafness. Your story, sir, would make a deaf man listen to it. If a man would be deaf, he would listen it." Very interesting story and very tragic story you have. Prospero again starts his story. He says, "To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for, he needs will be absolute Milan. When he become very ambitious, In order that there should be no difference between the role he had played and the reality, he needed to become the Duke of Milan. In order that there should be no difference between the role he had played, whatever the role he was playing, and the reality. What he needed? He needed to become the Duke of Milan. He wanted to become the Duke of Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom large enough of temporal royalties. He thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry he was for sweat. As for my poor self, he thought that my jurisdiction over my library was good enough. He thought that his jurisdiction will be over the library and nothing. He is the owner of the library only. His library is the subject, his library is his dukedom. He believed that I am unable to have any authority. He thinks me now incapable. Confederates, so dry he was for sway. He believed that I am incapable to have any authority. He became so thirsty for power that he entered into a contract with the King of Naples. When the King of Naples to give him annual tribute, do him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping. He says, my daughter, listen to me. He became so thirsty for power, he became so ambitious for power that he entered into a contract. He made a contract with the King of Naples that he would pay him an annual tribute, would show him the respect due to superior. These were the condition. He made with the King of Naples. Number one, that he would pay him an annual tribute. Number two, would show him the respect due to a superior. Would accept, number three, would accept a position of subordination. He will work like subordinate to him. And last, finally, bring the dukedom of Milan under the control of Naples. These were the four conditions. You must learn it. Milan, under the control of Naples. He says, how humiliating, how disgusting for Milan, which had never before been subject to any foreign power. Milan was never in control of any foreign power. But he has, my brother Antonio has given all the power to king of Naples, I became a slave like. Miranda says, "Oh, the heavens! Oh my God!" Prospero says, "Mark his condition and the event. Then tell me if this might be a brother." He asks a question. "My daughter, consider his contract with the king of Naples and the consequences and the result of the contract, and then tell me if a brother could be like him." A brother should not behave like this. Miranda says, "I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons." Miranda says, "It is bad for me to think. If I think anything bad for my grandmother, it would be very bad. It would be very awkward. But if it is a bad for me to think of my grandmother other than good, I cannot think any bad thing for my grandmother except good. Because good mothers could bring forth bad sons." But even I want to say that my grandmother was very good. How his son has become so bad? She says about Antonio. How my grandmother born such type of person like my uncle. Prospero says, "Now the condition, the king of Naples being an enemy to me, inveterate hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu of the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my brother." Now listen to the terms of his agreement with Naples. What were the terms? "The king of Naples being a sworn enemy of mine." The king of Naples was my enemy, sworn enemy. Mine responded positively. When my brother contracted, he responded positively because Prospero was his enemy. Prospero was the enemy of king of Naples. Responded positively to my brother's proposal. He accepted the proposal gladly. They were that he, in return for the terms of submission and subsidy, Prospero says, "I know not how much of a subsidy," should swiftly drive me and my family out of the dukedom. The condition, the terms and condition. According to the condition, I, with my family, was driven out from my dukedom and give that fair state of Milan with all honors to my brother. Means King of Naples said that Prospero and his family should be out of your dukedom. Then I will agree with what you say. And Antonio agreed for this. Thereupon, what happened after that? Whereon a treacherous army levied one midnight fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan, and in the dead of darkness the ministers of the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self. Very tragic story, students, really. Thereupon a disloyal army was raised. A disloyal, unfaithful army was raised. One midnight, destined for this purpose, Antonio opened the gates of Milan. Antonio opened the gates of Milan. In the depth of darkness, agents appointed for the task carried myself and you means Miranda, a weeping child, away from Milan. What happened after that, you will study in my 4th lecture. Thank you, students. Thank you so much.